Autobots, transform!
Jazz, organize a battle unit. We're going after them.
Ratchet!
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of George Reviews. I am the 80s Transformer fan. I am in the middle of counting down the 1984 wave of Transformers from Hasbro, from number 1 to number 25. I am up to number 10, Autobot Medic Ratchet. And we're going to take a look at that checklist. And it is time to get him checked off. So back to the figure that Hasbro presented to us in 1984. This is a surviving toy. It's not a reissue or reproduction in any way whatsoever. He has traveled all the way through time to my hands and to this review for your viewing pleasure. He is a pre-rub version from Hasbro. No rub sign here will be found here or here. And he is based on a Nissan Venette modified ambulance. But before I jump into that, I'm going to rewind for everybody, take you back to a company named Takara in Japan. He comes from their Diaclone car robot line, where he was an ambulance in that line as well. And unlike most Diaclone figures, the car robo, the micro change, and the micro man line, most of those figures come multicolored because they were a lot of different characters. But Ratchet only came in this one uniform white, I guess the standard ambulance look around the world, even though they're different color ambulances around the world. But I guess it was easily identifiable as an ambulance in these colors. So he only actually came in this one color in Takara toy line, unlike all the others, or most of the others. And in that toy line, he has some Chinese or Japanese writing on. I won't say Japanese just because it's a Japanese toy, but since I can't read it, I don't know exactly what it is. So I'm going to put a picture right here, let you check it out. The Diaclone packaging and the writing on the side. In the car robot line, the Diaclone line from Takara, Ratchet was not a living sentient being like he is in the Transformers Hasbro continuity. He was piloted by a sentient being who wore a technical suit such as this. I'll get a little bit more into this guy when we take a look at his transformation. So back to what Hasbro gave us in 1984, his ambulance mode. We're gonna need his box out here for this Hasbro discussion. So Hasbro gave us this, and this is the vintage original packaging. It still has the unfaded sticker where he was on sale for $6.97, originally priced $8.95. Here's the artwork for Ratchet, and on this artwork, I don't know if I ever really paid attention to it, but he has the Red Cross symbol on his hand right there. That's pretty cool. And you can see his unique robot mode, and I'm going to get into that. On the box it says transform from ambulance to robot and back. The back of the artwork shows the huge battle scene. On the top right here it says it is a world transformed where things are not what they seem. It is a world of the Transformers, a world of heroic Autobots and evil Decepticons. Transformers again, and you know the art we're all familiar with. And down here is the tech spec, the bio that we were meant to go by for this figure as introduced to us by Hasbro. Now let's take a look at what they intended us to play with as this character and his bio, his function. It says Ratchet, function, medic, obviously. It says you break it, I remake it. Ratchet was the best tool and die man on Cybertron. In his work bay on Earth, he can make anything from a pen to a missile. Repairs engine Autobots, given the right parts. Likes to party, gives back talk, but does the job as well as anyone. Has laser scalpels, arc welders, electron microscopes, circuitry sensors, fluid dispensers at his disposal. Sometimes having a good time interferes with his effectiveness. And coming to his tech spec, I'm going to need his decoder for that. Should have been prepared. Alright, that was easy enough. This is the decoder that all Transformers came with in 1984, all box Transformers. Put it on here. We're going to take a look at his readout as intended in 1984. It says his strength is a 4. His intelligence is an 8. His speed is a 4. His endurance is a 5. His rank is a 7. His courage is an 8. His firepower is a 3. And his skill is a 10. So that's what they intended us to know about this figure before the cartoon rolled out and before comic books dropped and public opinion was around and about. So I'm going to move it to the side. And speaking of public opinion and what they intended, this Ratchet, get Ratchet back out here, he was going to be the first female Autobot, or one of the female Autobots in the toy line. And he got his name based on the Nurse Ratchet from One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest from the book and the movie adaptation later on. But it was going to be the first female Autobot. And frankly, with the transformation, you really couldn't tell what gender it was going to be. So I think that would have been a good idea. But I like what we got. I really do. I don't know if it's just because that's what we got and that's all I know. But I do like what we got. So let's take a look at the modified ambulance vignette. Like the side, you can see a molded in door handle here, another molded in door handle here to slide the sliding door open. He obviously has an open window, some translucent windows where you can see the parts inside. But it's still a pretty cool disguise, because that could be like medical equipment in there. Like who knows what that is in there. Pretty cool. One thing is not that great of a disguise. Where his hand is, they just try to hit it with a sticker. They should have hit it with some paint. And they hit it with a sticker so it could cover up the little red of his hand. But you know, it's not too bad. And the final part of the rear window is molded in. The back window is molded in. He has this gaping hole right there. You know, it's kind of a giveaway. But what can you do? Chrome bumpers in the back. The little feet right here in the back of the ambulance mold are die cast. Coming all the way around here is die cast. Same thing on the other side. He has rubber tires, chrome rims, chrome headlights, chrome bumper, a little space for a license plate right there. His Autobot logo there. And as I said, he's pre-rub, no rub symbol, Autobot symbol back there. And this entire front portion here is die cast, which gives this little vehicle some weight to it. And I'm gonna put him down. Let's see how he rolls. Rolls pretty good. He rolls better than my Ironhide. I know that. Rolls a lot better than my Ironhide. So that is the vehicle. We're gonna take a look at what else he was packaged with in 1984. And here is Ratchet's spent sticker sheet. This is the vintage original sticker sheet. All the stickers are gone, so I know it's less dramatic, but this is it. I still got it. So the catalog, of course, we kind of went over that. I'm gonna just put it to the side. And his instruction booklet. Now, when I bought most of my figures, I didn't have an instruction booklet, but I tried to go back and make sure I had an instruction booklet for each one of them. So some of my booklets don't match, but this is a matching pre-rub booklet because it came with the box. So the artwork from the box is on the cover of his booklet. Pretty much same thing is on the box in general. So you open it up and it shows you what the set includes. There's a sticker sheet, kind of went over that, and there's Ratchet right there. And on a little label in the booklet, it is another red cross. I have never noticed that. I guess it's a good thing I'm doing a review. Look at that. It's a red cross again. I don't know. I know he has it on top. Right here, that was later removed. So, continue to follow the instruction booklet. Shows the transformation all the way to his robot mode. And you can see that it is a matching pre-rub booklet. Later on, they had where it shows you could rub the identification square to verify that it is authentic. So that is that. And as per the instruction booklet, here are his accessories: the 3 missiles, the little pig, and what I'm calling a laser scalpel for his transform mode. So now let's get Ratchet transform. So what you do is you remove this back section, comes off, and it reveals this little cup sled type thing. It could like be a vehicle on his own. He can still function without that part. Okay, then first I want to start with the repair bay. And again, I mentioned this is the cross version. Later versions they took the cross off, but this version is a little bit more sought after because it still has the cross on top. And you open this little back compartment here. Open these little side pieces here. Bring down, maybe I did that wrong. Bring down his treads. And they are chromed out. Why would they make a part to go on the ground completely chromed out? And this one's actually in good condition, and I'm doing the transformation all out of order. Bring down that one right there. So he has 3 treads, 3 chrome treads at the bottom. And again, this is in excellent condition from a 1984 toy. It doesn't have the yellowing. And here is his combat deck, surgical bay, whatever name you want to give it, that is what it is. Opened up, and I'm going to set that down. I'm going to come to the main body, or is this the main body? I don't know. So what we're going to do is accordion out the arms, bring up the chest and headpiece, rotate his die-cast feet down, bring his arms forward. And unlike my Ironhide review, I'm going to remember to rotate the hand so that you can see the actual thumb on top and the fingers on the outside. Rotate this hand, again, thumb on top, fingers on the outside. And we're almost done. Now we need to take this little peg here, turn it upside down, stick it into that little port right there. Take his laser scalpel or gun, whatever you choose it is, and put it right here. And take one of the missiles of your choice of the 3 and put it in this little cannon. And now we are all done with Ratchet's transformation. And I know what you're thinking. That don't look shit like the cartoon. Well, no, it doesn't. But now I'm going to explain why. I'm going to try to explain why anyway. Because he came from the previous mentioned Diaclone car robo line from Takara. He was meant to be piloted by a living being, and this was just nothing but a suit and a combat deck. This vessel and several other would get inside. I'm not going to go as in depth as I did with Ironhide, because I obviously did with Ironhide. So if you want to know a little bit more detail, watch the Ironhide review. So this little pilot, he would sit right here. This is a seat. The little sticker right there, that is a seat. And you just sit him right there. And one guy would pilot this part into combat, sort of like the Power Rangers. And on the main body right here, this was a little seat. This little thing that you see, and they just got the sticker for his face. And no, can you see his face back there pretty good? Hope you can. And the sticker back there was meant to either project or come up on his windshield like a monitor screen. Cartoon just went in a whole nother direction and built a torso and a head on top of it, ignoring this actual toy model, which may or may not have been a good thing. But anyway, a pilot will also sit in that seat in here. I've already trying to struggle to get these guys in here. Sometimes they want to go, sometimes they don't. So the pilot would sit right here and drive this, sort of like how Ripley was in a suit in Aliens when she was fighting a little alien like the payloader. But he would drive this little suit, and this explains where the head and shoulders are missing from this figure, because this is all it was intended to be. And the cartoon artist is kind of the people who failed us. They tried to give us more, but when people went to the store shelves looking for this guy, were a little bit disappointed because of the cartoonist, not because of the toy. You know what I'm saying? If they had put him into the cartoon just like this, or a lot like this, we could have learned to love it. I know as a kid, I refused to get these. They were on sale, and I turned them down. You can also put a pilot here. So 3 people could operate this thing. So you can see it was a vastly different toy than what was presented to us from the cartoon. So anyway, moving on from that point, let's take a look at the repair bay. From the Hasbro perspective, there is still a seat right here. You can actually see it. I guess in their continuity, it's a combat deck. He has some stickers along the inside, some stickers right here. Stickers are always good. It brings the vehicle to life when there's no paint or molded in detail. Even though he has some molded in panels right here underneath the stickers on both sides. And again, this laser scalpel or missile would sit right here. Because it's just pegged in, you can move it on a friction joint, have it shoot in each direction. And we saw this on one episode, when the very first episode, when Hound was shot down by Laserbeak's gun, or was it Laserbeak? and fell in a ditch, and Hauler and Ratchet show up, and then Hauler pull him up. When Ratchet first transforms, and I'm going to try to put it on the screen, this separates from him and moves to the side, even though he's a full robot. He doesn't have like just his torso. Only place you can really find this torso in G1 continuity is in the comic books, and then they later quickly adopted the cartoon look. So moving on to the main body torso thing, this is Ratchet, and again, this is supposed to be his face. The windshield would come on like a monitor, and you just got to imagine this sticker back here is on the screen, just like on the box art. I'm gonna try to squeeze a picture right here, and that thing would be Ratchet's face. That's what the toy intended you to see on the cartoon, but Sunbow or whoever did the cartoon went a totally different direction. And coming down here, this little chrome piece is supposed to represent his waist. Then we got his kneecaps represented by stickers. You know, you can kind of tell they're kneecaps. And coming down to his feet. And this entire white portion here is die cast. Here's arms. His only bit of articulation would be he 360s at the shoulder, and he can accordion them in. I think this is separate in transformation. He can bring them back this far, and that is it. Well, you can come to his feet, and you can move his feet ever so slightly. And I see I'm missing like a sticker in here, right down there. So the other sticker must be gone. But anyway, this figure is in great condition. I was happy to get it. I think I got it for $45 with the box and everything else. And by being Ratchet, I thought, I'm like, that's a lot of money for at the time. But with the condition and the age of the toy, I think I got a pretty good deal on this. So anyway, you can take him. Hasbro intended, Takara intended for this guy to port onto this part and double up his effectiveness. He gets a little bit more height. And actually, it looks pretty cool. If you're not focused on what he should have looked like from the cartoon, he looks pretty cool. It really does. Like, this is a lot of stuff going on. But I mean, no one on earth could convince me of that as a kid. But it's really a lot of stuff going on. And I forgot to mention how cool the translucent light bars are when he was in vehicle mode. I apologize for leaving that out. But the treads don't move, but I guess he would armor up on this thing and go where he needed to go. You can actually take his hands and he can hold the gun and fire the missile. There's a little button right here. I'm not sure if he still fires. Nope. Cool. But if you don't like Ratchet like this, years ago they offered an upgrade kit, and this is the one I got Gear for Toys. I think this is Ironhide's box. I couldn't find it during Ironhide's review, but it's a company called Gear for Toys who made the torso. I have Ratchet's box somewhere, but this is just for reference in case you were ever looking for this. And they made cartoon accurate torso for Ratchet to connect to the piece. And the eyes even lit up, even though this one the batteries are dead. You push this button in, light up the eyes. You watch my Ironhide review, you can see the eyes light up on that version. Spoiler if you haven't seen it. So anyway, let's get Ratchet off of here. And all you would do, you would take the arms and swing them around to the back of the toy. You just take this torso and slot it into place right here, and you use the arms to secure it onto the body, if I got it correctly. And now we have a little bit more cartoon accurate Ratchet. Now he's thick at the chest now, and you got Kibble back here, but Kibble is no stranger to G1 Transformers or any Transformer period, and it makes him look a lot better. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at Ratchet's newfound articulation. Coming to his head, Ratchet can look to his left and to his right. His head won't do a full 360 because there's a wire connected to make the eyes light up. And that's pretty much it at the head. The arms do a full 360. Now he has a newfound elbow and a newfound elbow bend, and he even has wrist articulation. So this is one heck of an upgrade for Ratchet. And speaking of the wire inside the head, the eyes actually light up, but I do not have a battery in this guy. You got to see my Ironhide review to see it light up. You just push this button in and activate the eyes, and they would light up. And there's a closer look at his face. He also comes with a generic pistol that he was seen with on some episodes and in the movie where he met his death. And when he met his death, he was wielding 2 pistols. This one belongs to Ironhide. So you can recreate that scene if you wanted to. If you had to have both torsos. But he looks pretty cool like this. Alright, before I give Ratchet a size rundown, I want to tell you that he was voiced by Don Messick, who also voiced Scavenger and Gears on the same 1984 cartoon. So he has that's 3 Transformer credits to his voice acting talents in one cartoon. He also voiced Scooby-Doo. In case you didn't know that, over the years, for many different incarnations of Scooby-Doo, he was the voice of Scooby-Doo. He also voiced Papa Smurf. Those are some of the big names that I can remember. And he voiced one of the Mighty Orbots, if you remember the Mighty Orbots. I think it was the Commander Rondu. Oh, and Crunch. He voiced Crunch and the Commander robot, Rondu, I think it was his name. Alright, before I get the torso off of Ratchet and continue the straight G1 review, I just got to bring up the 1986 animated movie and the death scene aboard the Autobot shuttle where 4 of our favorite Autobots were just slaughtered. And when Brawn died, Prowl died, it was like, wow, it was super tragic. Then Ironhide got hit and Ironhide went down. And all this stuff was tragic except for Ratchet's death. Because Ratchet jumped up with 2 pistols, just gunning at Decepticons and didn't hit shit. I mean, absolutely nothing. At least everybody else tried. I mean, this guy came up, and the Decepticons just like half-ass ducked, and Starscream popped up with Megatron and like hit Ironhide dead center in the chest with about 4 shots, and he went down. Now, with 2 guns and the Decepticons directly in front of you, I just could not grieve for Ratchet like I did Brawn, Ironhide, and Prowl. I just couldn't, and I just had to say that in this review. Alright, one more last thing while he has the torso attached. He can hold his G1 weapon finally, but you have to keep the peg attached, and the little peg actually fits to this hand with no problem. And now he can actually carry the weapon in robot mode. Alright, let's size him up and let's run him down. Here he is next to G1 Prowl. Here he is with Brawn, Autobot Commander Optimus Prime, Siege Ratchet, Masterpiece Ratchet, Starscream and Megatron, Astro Train, and Topspin for good measure. Okay, the only thing I got left for this review on Ratchet is some buying tips. And when you're buying this figure, and you're buying them in loose condition, you want to check for paint chips to his die-cast parts. You want to check for missing or worn or faded stickers, because you want to get the one in the best condition that you can. Check the tires, the rubber tires crack and get brittle and split over the years. Also, you want to make sure you buy this guy complete. Like I said, he comes with 3 small missiles, this laser scalpel, and the peg. The peg is always missing. Like, most people just forget about it. But the little peg that holds this scalpel thing will not stay in here without this peg. So you have to have the peg. And he has the cross and uncrossed variant that you might want to look for. Collectors tend to seek out the cross version a lot more. And that is about it. Well, he has a reissue. Actually, he has 2 reissues. He has a reissue in this color, and for the first time ever, they gave him a repaint in the green. It was an exclusive. I can't remember what company exclusive it was, but it was an exclusive green repaint with blue light bars, sort of to mimic the colors from the Michael Bay movie. And again, he has the standard reissue. He's only been reissued the 1 time, or the 2 counting the exclusive repaint. So if you do find him, he's original, because I don't think he has a KO. They haven't even bothered, because the demand for him is not that great outside of the hardcore G1 collectors. In fact, you can even find his Encore reissue at retail price, like on Big Bad TF stores and other online toy stores. He's still at the same price. And I want to say he got Encored in 2009, and the price hasn't gone up at all. So if you want the reissue, you can get the reissue mint sealed in box. So that's all I got on this. Thank you for watching another one of George Reviews, the reviews where every toy has a story.
Autobots, transform!